Yeah, real versus feel. For me, I don't know what the context is, but for me, real versus feel goes along with a lot of different phrases, catchphrases, attention-grabbing phrases that are being used today. And then we're using them as hitting coaches to create a knowledge gap. We're trying to say, hey, we know more about hitting than you know. And we're using these different types of catchphrases. And I have several of them off the top of my head, but let's just talk about real versus feel. Many guys are saying real versus feel to mean that they actually teach really what's going on in the swing. And their goal is to make sure the hitter knows exactly what's going on and how they can use it to best benefit them. Which is great based on video. These guys are in video analysis and maybe some analytics stuff. These guys have decided they know exactly what's happening in the swing and they can communicate it in a way that's most effective to all hitters. And my mind works in a different way. Like for me, this whole thing should be approached in an open-minded way, right? There's a group of people who know a lot about biomechanics. There's a group of people who know a lot about analytics. There's a group of people who know a lot about statistics. There's a group of people who know a lot about hitting. There's a group of people who know a lot about everything that it takes to create the best opportunity for people to hit. And open-mindedly, we should all be working to learn something from each other. The way I approach real versus feel is that it's garbage, right? Like I don't know exactly how the swing works based on all of the video stuff that I've done. I can't tell you exactly how my hitter feels or should feel. So I can't possibly decide exactly how they should feel or what I need to tell them to get them to feel it. So it doesn't matter to me whether they are doing exactly what it feels like they should be doing, whether they feel exactly what they are doing, or that I can correlate the two. What matters to me is I can help hitters create a feel that they understand that produces a good result. Their best result, ultimately. That's why I get excited about communicating with hitters, communicating with other hitting coaches, communicating with other people, so that we can help these guys align themselves, and gals, align themselves with feelings of their swing that can produce the best result for them. And they can learn how to implement that in a way that best serves them down the road so they can be their best coach and make the adjustments necessary. Yeah, I agree. So to that point, so many of our players are being told what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And very rarely are they taking on the responsibility of having complete ownership of their swing. And they're not doing that because most of them are just good kids. They come from good families, or they come from places where they're trying to be part of good families or good teams, and the coaches or the parent or the teacher is in a place of authority, and you just say yes and you go on and do what you're supposed to do. But you aren't learning how to do what you're supposed to do, right? You're not getting the feel for what it is you're supposed to do. And then by you having the right feel or the wrong feel is how you can have your own conversations. And that's what is exciting for me about these young guys is that and gals is that they can go ahead and create their own feels and have their own conversations and come from where they are at the moment in time that they're there. And I can say, all right, that makes sense. This is how I'm seeing it and feeling it. This is how you're seeing and feeling it. Are they coming close to the same? Are we getting the right action? Are we getting the energy that it takes? And then we're able to blow on down the road and do everything they want to do. And they can call me or send me a text and say, hey, this is what I was feeling today, and this is where I was. And I can say, oh, I remember our conversation about this, and this is what you were doing before. And man, they can make it work because they know what it is they're trying to do. Yeah, one of my most frustrating times right now in this game is that we have people who are quick to tell other people they don't know what they're doing or that wasn't what they did. And so like if you take video clip of A-Rod talking about swinging down on a ball and everybody says it's not what really happened and he's wrong. Well, he is arguably or not arguably a Hall of Famer. So he's not wrong, he did this. And that was what his thought process was. How can you say his thought process as a successful hitter at the highest level was wrong? You can't. How can you say it's wrong because what he's saying isn't what he did? What he's saying is what he practiced to accomplish what he did. What he's saying is the routine that he built or the thought process that he built to accomplish what he accomplished. And none of us should be able to sit here and say it's wrong, right? Now, I know, being of my age, over 45, almost 50, there was a generation of guys who swung down. That's how it was taught. That's what we did. And guys were able to hit like that. They hit great, right? But I also know each one of those guys had what's called some shoulder tilt. And so as the shoulders tilted this way and started getting in behind the ball and rotate, their swing was coming from there in a downward plane that had to get flattened out because of the way their shoulders worked. Because they called it down instead of on plane or up or tilt, doesn't make them wrong. It makes them from a different generation. If our goal is to be right and not good, we're in this for the wrong reasons. If our goal is to have everybody hit the way we think they should hit, or the way we communicate they should hit, or the way we take in information from video and apply it, then our goal is not to help every hitter, because we can't possibly think that every hitter is going to communicate and hear and listen and apply in the way that we talk, communicate, hear, listen, and apply. Our goal here is to be hitting coaches. It's not to be hitting gurus. Like, every guy I work with, I could have 10 guys working at the same time. We could all be working on the same drill. We could all be working on different aspects of how we can apply that drill to our swing. And I say we can be because we typically are. Like, I have to help each one of these guys accomplish their swing in a way that best fits them. And here in the last year, I've told a guy, hey, you need to swing down. Now, if you go out there and tell Joe Schmo on the street, I said you need to swing down, they're gonna be like, Carl never said that. Or, I can't believe Carl said that. That's wrong. He's not teaching properly. But what happens between me and my hitters in the cage and on my floor, or in their batting cage, or in their backyard, or in their basement, is whatever it takes to help them get the feel to accomplish their goal. And so when I start hearing other guys' feels, whether they played in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010s, and now the 20s, I try to drink that in and use it as a way to help me create a reach to somebody else, to help them become a better hitter. Because it all comes down to being open-minded. To recap, man, feel versus real, or real versus feel, however you want to say it, for me, it's become about a separation between people who want to say, I really teach what's going on, and everybody else who's wrong. And the reality is, when we start talking about real and feel, all I want my hitters to do, personally, as a hitting coach, all I want my hitters to do is feel what it is they're doing and know why and how they can apply it or change it. I'm not concerned if their feel is exactly really what's happening. I'm concerned as if their feel gives them the best opportunity to be effective to create the result they want. Bottom line.